Proud to show you this brand new 2026 model by starting with the front cap. With this design, as you can see, we've used this massive window. It's literally 78 by 44 inches in size, because at the end of the day, when you're going camping, you really want to be able to experience the outside environment while you're traveling. The neat thing about this window is it's a tempered glass, and we've also integrated a strike guard into the glass and done a lot of testing, and it's a very resilient piece of material, and it's gonna give you that outside experience you're all looking for. Additionally, we've added the Winnebago Flying W, and you'll notice as we move around to the side of the unit, there's more of those Winnebago elements that we'll be able to talk about. Additionally, there's a nice diamond shield for protection in the front end. Overall, this unit, the 18 FBS, measures 22 feet, 11 inches in overall length from the pin to the rear end, and a height, it's only 10 foot 6 inches in overall height because of the wheel wells we're integrating. So it's a small, compact, but yet very wide, 8 foot wide unit with a slide, so lots of room within the unit. Additionally, with the front, one of the really neat new features we've added is these integrated lights. And one of the things I like most about it is the safety element, in addition to the styling, because people can really see you coming on those dark nights. And then moving around to the side, on the door side of the unit, you can see a very large pass-through storage bay in the front of the unit. We've partnered with a new company, and we're offering slam latches on these doors. So very easy to open and close, and then tons and tons of storage for a small unit. Probably one of my favorite parts about the unit itself is the graphics package. We worked really hard to try to disguise the residential element to it and really make it look a lot more automotive by building in these larger pieces of dark charcoal graphic, along with that, again, integrated Flying W to kind of disguise the windows and really give it an automotive flair. Additionally, we've added a lot more white elements with, the door surrounds, the awning, really just to try to really focus on the artwork and not on all the exterior elements, I guess, that are involved with the exterior. You'll also notice underneath that we've located our spare tire underneath the unit versus at the back, again, to keep it at that 22 foot, 11 inch overall length. And then something else that's very unusual and not found typically in this segment of RV is we have power stab jacks, the Norco power stab jacks that are a part of actually the same company where we actually get our frames. So we use a Norco BAL frame on this unit. So a very robust huck bolted system that's gonna give you really good stability and how stable and how confident you can feel behind the wheel pulling it. Another really nice new feature are our black aluminum wheels, brand new, that actually were designed for Winnebago for this particular unit, that I think really just kind of work really well with the extra, new design elements that we've added to the unit. Up above too, we have JBL speakers that we are no longer having to build with trim rings. They're actually flush mounted to the sidewall, so they kind of blend away a little bit and provide really good sound through a Bluetooth control module that we have inside the unit. We also have interior speakers as well that we'll talk about later. And then another really cool feature is these new steps. So these are a composite step, and which they look really good because they have the white and black elements and a really nice hefty tread and a larger tread in the front. So when you're coming up and down, it's very comfortable, right? More importantly, when you go to travel, is they're so light when it comes to the weight. So, really, anybody can lift them up and put them down. And we also added a nice larger handle. So again, from a safety standpoint, you have a lot of vertical height. So depending on the height of the person, you're always gonna have a good grip, and there's a nice rubber handle on this as well. One final thing on the side you'll notice, but there is a nice fusion light like we have on the front cap that's really a nice feature and provides a lot of light when you're outside at night. Then coming around to the rear cap, the ladder, easy access up onto the roof. It is a fully walkable roof on the unit as well. And then coming around a little bit further, right here in the center, we have a 300-pound hitch receiver. So if you want accessories like bikes and different things, you can do so. We have a satellite hookup here We have a shower. So if you want to have water outside, both hot and cold, you have access to that right here on the rear cap. And then your power hookup as well for your 30 amp is right here on the back. So when you're pulling into the campsite, very easy to locate that in a place where it's convenient with the poles that are typically set up there. We do prep for backup camera, which a lot of people choose to add to the unit, which again, gives you a little bit easier ability to pull the unit around. And then obviously a license plate holder as well, and a bumper in case maybe it's your first time pulling a travel trailer and you need a little extra assurance that you're not going to damage the rear end. Coming around to the off-door side, this is a .060 fully laminated fiberglass with a 2-pound block foam insulation. So it is a very well insulated unit. I didn't mention also on the other side, but the skirt metal, we don't have any belt molding whatsoever. And so there's no screws or fasteners in this. It actually slides right on, which gives you that clean automotive look. You have your black tank clutch here as well. And then also your dump receiver down here on the bottom for dumping both your gray and your black tanks. And then finally the slide. So this is a single slide unit. Because it has wheel wells, we're choosing to do a rack style slide mechanism, this being the slim rack. And you can see those mechanisms here, a very reliable, very well tested system. A number of our competitors have chosen some other varieties, but we really feel confident this is the best one that's out there. Look at all these large windows. It's not only the front window is huge, but your kitchen window is massive. You got your off-door side window that's really big. So again, just really trying to highlight the fact that we're out camping and we really don't want you to feel like you're inside. We want you to feel like you're in the elements. And so we tried wherever we could to put the biggest windows in we could possible in order to really, to follow that theme. And then finally, kind of coming around to the front, we did add a tankless hot water heater. This is a 60,000 BTU hot water heater, very effective at keeping that water up to temperature. So you're able to take a shower and not have to turn it on and off because you don't have hot water, because this one really does a great job. And then finally, another place where you can access that large storage, because this is an 8-foot wide travel trailer. There is a huge span of pass-through storage here, and we want to make sure you have access on both sides. Welcome inside the 18 FBS. It's really hard to believe how much storage we've been able to pack into such a small space. When you walk right in the entry door, you'll notice the pantries, which have the pull-out drawers in them, as well as some additional upper storage, so you can bring it, and there's a motion light. Refrigerator is a good size, 10.6 12-volt refrigerator right in this area here, still with plenty of room to get inside. And then we're coming around to the other side, actually the JBL control for both your interior and exterior speakers is located, as long as your slide and awning controls. So it's hard to believe in this size of unit how much galley space we have. Enough room for a very large oven, a microwave, an exhaust fan, and then look at this countertop. I mean, this countertop is massive. You're never gonna find a unit at 22 foot 11 inches that has so much space. In addition to being a lot of usable space, it's also a beautiful looking piece of countertop, because this is actually fiberglass. And so we're one of the first companies to offer fiberglass in the units. It's lightweight, it's very attractive, and it has a molded, integrated sink within the actual countertop itself. So no longer the pitting and the things that can happen with stainless steel, because it is all integrated and molded in. In addition to that, we're also doing that in the bathroom area as well. We're really trying to make this unit look a lot more residential. But then we also want to have the functional features of a residential unit. And so one of the first things we did is we try to incorporate the colors in the right places. So this is the Addy Opal look, and then you'll see as we move through the unit, we have some accents in what's called Canyon Desert, which is a little bit darker, but really complements the rest of this interior really nicely. And then the doors themselves, really just working on trying to eliminate the reveal of the styles and really make sure that we have almost like a full overlay of doors. And then tons of storage inside as well. And so there's a lot of storage in the galley, and then the doors themselves are soft close. So really makes it nice and handy and really holds them in place, and you're not gonna be damaging stuff because you can be gentle with the unit. And then also even with the drawers as well, we are doing the soft close, which I'll demonstrate in a second, but this has a silverware drawer. We're gonna put a silverware drawer in everything that we build. And it also has extra storage within the silverware drawer, and then there's that soft close I was talking about. And then everybody needs a place for trash, right? But how about recycling too? We actually have trash and recycling built into every floor plan. So again, those features of home, those residential features, we're gonna have in every single Thrive. So we have also a really nice large 40-inch TV. Most of our competition runs a 32. And the mechanism that we designed for this is slimmer. So one thing additional and added, this is a very common floor plan in the industry, but we're the first to do it with a king bed. So with a king bed, you have a little bit less space on either side, but this mechanism is slimmer. So as you can see, as a larger guy can easily transition over to this side of the bed, which is actually where I sleep on at home. But yeah, it's a 66 by 80 king, which gives you tons of space. We also have some really cool built-in cubby areas. So if you need a CPAP machine, place to put your phone, glass of water, you got it. Again, a huge window, and there is a roller shade that comes down as well. So you can cover up that front and, keep the heat out. And, if you just at nighttime, obviously you want, you don't want to look at the stars, which actually the way we curve this, if you want to look at the stars at night, it really makes for a nice thing. And then also lots of wardrobe storage. And then again, even more storage up above. And again, that soft close feature that's really nice. Another thing I forgot to highlight are the ceiling lights. So the ceiling lights are a very residential, modern looking recessed light that are smaller and a little bit more aesthetic when we're looking at this more progressive, modern interior that we have on the unit. We added in these really cool map lights that actually have a low light and a bright light feature, so you'll be able to read comfortably in bed and adjust them accordingly. And then also with this king bed, it goes with extra storage that you can put underneath. And so it's just a huge amount of storage for obviously a smaller unit. If you want to have places to tuck things away, really a great space to be able to do that sort of thing. All of the shades are these V3 aluminum cased with the nice alabaster color, so they match and kind of don't stick out like a sore thumb. They kind of blend in with the interior. Nice overheads, and then even your slide out surround. So this is actually all hardwood maple. So really just trying to, again, give it that really contemporary modern feel, very clean, sleek type of design. And then with that design, probably my favorite feature, but Apex Furniture out of Knoxville, Tennessee, designed furniture for us, and what we tasked them to do is we really wanted to see something modern that really fit the space. And so when you get into a travel trailer, typically you see lots of gaps on either side or gaps in the back and all these weird shapes and things because basically everybody uses the same thing. So we said, build us something simple and modern. So they designed it for us. They made sure the heights are right. You can sit down comfortably. It's very soft. The hand on the material is quite nice. And then we have these really great trays. So, setting a glass of water, you want to eat and, watch TV and have a snack or eat dinner on them. Really a great, comfortable sofa that's unlike any other because it was designed and made for us for this unit. Believe it or not, we have a really big bathroom in here with a lot of storage. So first of all, above the toilet, there's a really nice, large, very open linen area for towels and whatnot. And then again, a sink, fiberglass, molded with the countertop, beautiful, matches the interior of the unit. A nice medicine cabinet up above, and then this shower, it's a radius shower. And I always worry about height and width, and you step inside this thing, it's just hard to believe how much room I have, shoulder width and height in this shower. Unbelievable to have this much space.